Alright, welcome to Warframe. So, build video for Rhino. Now, yes, there are a lot of build videos for Rhino, but this one's unique because this one uses synergy between all of his weapons, two augments, not one, and it looks really cool. Alright, this is what it looks like. The skin doesn't matter because if you cast armor, it covers it up. But when you don't have it on, hold on a second, let's pop that off. The shield, the spear, and the armor and the cape all look super good together. Like, this is just a freaking champion. This looks like some type of dragon hunter, which is pretty legit. It's pretty legit. So let's take a look at what we got. No secondary. That's actually really important to this build, and I'll explain in a second. Let's start with the Rhino. Now, for this Rhino build, I don't have any super rare things on. Arcane Consequence affects mobility. Don't worry about that. Two augments, some mods. Armored agility is not that important. You could ditch that in exchange for not overextended. Primed continuity. You could do that. Boom. Can I switch these out? No. Alrighty. That's going to give you a little bit more on your buff, but you're not going to be using your damage buff. That's not the point. But if you didn't really need the extra sprint speed, you're not going to need the armor from that, and I'll show you why in a second. Aside from that, it's a pretty standard build. That's not supposed to be there. Why is that there? You're supposed to be there. Where is it? Gladiator Aegis. That's better. So yeah, it's a pretty standard build. Not much to take home to your mom. It's like, this is a side hoe build. Normally it's a side hoe build. This is the poor man's Rhino Prime. One primed mod, and that's one of the worst ones in my opinion. So yeah, this is kind of how it is. I do like both of these augments, and I'll show you why in a second. This scales with your power strength, so with my current power strength, it gives me a fair chunk of armor for enemy. And those of you who don't know, the Iron Skin scales off your armor and off your power strength. And if you haven't noticed, my armor is quite high, my power strength is quite high, and this will give me more armor for every enemy hit. So, game plan is I'm going to charge enemies, get my armor, and then cast my freaking Iron Skin. That's why I can't have negative range, because I need the range to use my charge to get the Iron Skin. You following? Basically, gameplay progression is charge, Iron Skin, and then when you're getting low, you're going to uncast with Iron Shrapnel, and then you're going to recast after charging again. Keep in mind, this scales well, so if you need like an instant nuke, cast Iron Skin and then immediately cast it again for a pretty decent chunk of damage and it'll knock enemies back. Not bad. This next one is a Ferox. I have removed the Riven mod from this build. This is a pretty standard radiation build. Radiation is, I think, the best pure, like, you just want to hit something in the face hard damage type. Not really a great status proc in my opinion. But this build is built around punching people in the nose. In fact, we can upgrade this a little bit by throwing on Hellfire. We don't need the status. Alright, it's a crit build. Vigilante Fervor is important because we'll be throwing the bow a lot. I just removed it on accident. Pardon my fingering. Or don't, whichever you like. And the last weapon is going to be confusing. Sylvan Aegis Prime. Now, this weapon's honestly pretty bad. It's a pretty bad weapon. Not great. But hear me out. This weapon pairs very well with this build, because you're going to be using no weapon but the melee. Meaning, you can actually use Guardian Derision to pull a decent amount of aggro, and with your super high survivability, and you want enemies to be clumped up and focusing on you so you can charge through them, you can basically use this in tandem with everything else to constantly keep pressure on you, keep chaining those armors, stay upright and on your feet. It's a status build with corrosive, condition overload, and heat. It's alright. Depending on level you are, you can switch out the dual stats with the freaking 90s. Just run one of each if you're like that. Boom. A little less damage, a little more status. I got Weeping Wounds on here to compensate. Gladiator Vice. I really want to put Berserk on here because this is a slow weapon. This is a very slow weapon, but the crits are not reliable enough. Now, if you wanted to run two dual stats, I'll show you. If you wanted to run two dual stats, get rid of Weeping Wounds, you could maybe run Berserk and some type of crit mod. Maybe. But I'm not going to recommend it because It's just not feasible. You could also remove guarding division, but I'm not, because I actually really like how it affects this build. So we'll just keep dual stats on right now for consistency's sake for testing, and we'll use Weeping Wounds. And this is the kind of build I'll take into rounds. It's actually, never mind. We'll just do this. Nice balanced build. It'll do decent damage. It won't nuke enemies. It's not particularly great. I have one prime mod that's not even max. Don't worry about that. It's not that much of a jump from the other one. Guarding Division, if you don't want it, can switch with Prime to Reach. A crit mod, and you can switch this out with Berserker. You could just throw in Fury instead of Guarding Division. It's not a bad idea. Anything else? And just more damage mods. It's a pretty flexible build, but I like Guarding Division because 15 meters of aggro is awesome. Alright, so what is so good about the Ferox here? Well, the Ferox does that. Epic. Did it turn around midair? Wait, do I throw it? I throw it back first. Awesome. That's lit. That's lit. Famlin. Let's go check out what it does versus enemies. Get a bunch of elite lancers. We'll be testing at level 75 because, frankly, the melee weapon doesn't scale high enough to do anything above that. No, let's turn invincibility off just so you can kind of see what this can do. Remember, this is a build you can take. You can build pretty much as soon as you get Rhino. Throw that there. Charge through them. Cast. 19,000 effective health. And you'll see that, I guess get rid of this. You hold that for me. My game's bugged out. God damn it. Does that, you'll see where they're from. But if I was blocking, I would be drawing aggro pretty effective. So let's look at combos for this weapon. The standard combo is basically just whacking back and forth. The block combo is going to be a little wombo there. I'm going to throw the shield for a ton of multi-strike. If you need to armor shred something, use that move. That will actually do a good chunk of armor strip to any heavy target. Very nice. Notice it's not nuking these guys, but it's more than handling them, especially once I got that Weeping Wounds up. The huge procs are going to slow down a fair bit. Charge combo is super nice for multi-hit, and it gives you good closing distance. See if I can get it on those guys. Got good closing, and with a high status chance, you're probably going to either armor strip or light them on fire. So either CC and a little bit of DOT, or just you can make them weaker, so it's not bad. Notice I've been reckless and I can't use my block because it's going to come to toss into the shield, and I'm still very set on armor. So, but I want to recast it, so let's find some enemies. I'll put it there. Strike you. Not so much damage that did. Good chunk of damage considering how low it was. 2 enemies with no outside, oh, like a tiny bit of outside damage. Will give you almost 15,000 EHP. That is amazing. Notice falling off the map removes your armor. Don't do that. Damage buff is negligible. It will not do much for you. Grimy. It won't block again. Yeah, I was trying to show up the block, see if I can get it to work. Let's try again. Let's see what I can. God, freaking. Well, it's not busted like that mid-mission. Let's try. Let me think. Let's just unequip the Ferox so you can see how the weapon works. Put the freaking thing away. Gosh dang it. One sec. Gotta fix this bug because this game somehow still doesn't work this late into the freaking life cycle. Alright, well I guess catch off the block because it's significant. Alright, standard iron skin is still pretty viable. It gives you a decent amount, but you want to be using those charges. You're gonna need energy, so energy pads and whatever you want. Dude, look, it's freaking killing him. Wow, it's crazy. Dude, it's crazy. It's freaking killing stuff. You can do this build from killing stuff. It's gonna kill stuff. I'm really mad that the this block won't work in the simulacrum because it's actually pretty handy. But you're gonna take my word for it, okay? If you have something you need to defend, stand a little ways away and block and kite enemies and attack when you can, and you will perform a great service to your team. You will function as a great decoy, but most importantly, you're going to be basically unkillable with a shield and your armor. It's very nice. Even without the armor, the shield's going to give you a ton of survivability. And it's going to help when you're trying to get close to cast your iron skin. You can just keep the shield up and push them. And again, it looks cool. So, since you always have to do this for this kind of thing, I'm so mad about this. Oh, there we go. Well, that's how it looks. So I have to like mess with buttons, and if I release and press, it kind of pulls that out. But it's whatever. So let's grab a level 120 carpet heavy gunner, and I'll show you why this build doesn't scale well. It doesn't have crit. And on something big like this, you could run berserk and you'll activate it. So the issue is, let's use that block combo for the multi strikes. So there was a good armor strip there, and it definitely is killing him. It's just not super efficient. But it could hold up through sorties just fine. If this is your main killing weapon, it's not going to struggle in a sortie unless it's like a Grenier Eximus sortie and you're trying to kill Leech Eximi. I wouldn't attempt that. Looks stylish as all hell. I think the mace fits Rhino way better than a sword. I think this weapon fits Rhino's aesthetic to a T. Just blocking freaking big swinging metal piece and shields, and it just looks good. It just looks good, and you can run like aesthetically whatever you want, but remember, whenever you cast iron skin, it all goes away in favor of this. And just so you know, because it's gonna confuse people because it doesn't make any sense, accents is what affects your armor color, not energy. So if you want to make your Rhino look like a god dang Easter bunny, that's totally feasible. And honestly, that looks pretty cool. Generally, the more it creates the color, it's gonna make you kind of stand out like a sore thumb in most missions. But hey, if you're an attention-seeking person like me, you're fine with that. You could always be an emo kid and go like this and just activate darkness. Not bad, actually. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. Kind of got that like Dark Lord thing going, like Sauron's gay brother with sick knee guards. It's not bad. It's not bad. So is there anything else you need to know about this? Again, Arcanes weren't running anything that was very helpful. Ferox Sylvan Aegis. It's not exactly an overpowered build per chance. But let's show you what it can do if you do it just right. We'll do a little glitch I found, which anyone who's been around here for any amount of time, even though, according to my analytics, the only people who watch my videos are not subscribers, which is interesting. But not a big deal. So I'm gonna show you this. Watch this. There's a glitch where you can make, we'll switch the operator for this. You can make all the guys spawn in one spot. I'm gonna show you. With this, how much armor you can get. It's gonna blow your tits off. Check this out. Wow. Dude, they're all gonna spawn right there. And if you're really, really boring, you could put all 20 in one single spawn. That's kind of pointless. So I'm gonna try to herd them like into one spot. Actually, I got an idea. It's only grab 8 people, but if I like, or can grab more. Can I have that back, please? Thank you. Drag them all in. Alright, well, I guess I changed that. It used to only grab 8 people. Let's get some energy. And hippity hoppity, your health bar is now my property. Watch this. bam, 88,000 effective health. If that's not some stupid, and for example of what that kind of health means, just so you understand that, we are going to spawn 20 of these boys. 20 of them. And we're just gonna show you how much this eats shots. 20 of the highest level, highest DPS characters I can find. And I can just sit there and just take it. And you know what, if I have my shield up, which I found out I can do. Hold on a second. I guess I gotta have that out. There we go. Nope. There we go. No, come on, put the shield up. Oh, I just can't get the shield up. I could earlier. That's a shame. Y'all gonna take my arm off at any point? Where's my spear? There we go. And 1%. Like Bernie Sanders. So yeah. It's nice. That's about it. I very much enjoyed finding out stuff like this. Next video is either going to be me trouncing the exploiter orb to prove a friend wrong, and I will link him in the description when I do that, or be making a build on the Sylvan Aegis, but without corrosive and for Nezha. Similar synergy, not exactly the same. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube at this point, but I'm having a good time. So that's about it. Like, subscribe, whatever you want. I don't care. Deuces.